Good afternoon, everyone. Today we're going to do an example where we're going to compare the SI units in the metric system and the imperial units to solve a problem. Okay? So here's the situation I'm in. Brian measures the McDonald's sign, big M, on the street to be 5.3 meters high. And then Eve notices that she has a stack of 4 loomies that altogether have a combined height of half of an inch. Okay? So our question is, what monetary value, what dollar value, would a stack of loomies as high as the McDonald's sign actually be? So, first and foremost, there's not really any way to go about this until we have the same units in both of our measurements, right? The only way to really compare different quantities is if we have them in the same units. Whatever those units might be, it doesn't really matter what they are as long as they're the same, okay? Now, in doing so, we acknowledge there are so many different ways to do this. There are so many different units that we can convert both of these quantities to. I think maybe the most straightforward in this very specific situation would be to go from meters to inches, because the numbers kind of work out nicely if we do so. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's first remind ourselves of our conversion rates. So we know that 1 meter is equal to roughly 3 1/4 feet. We use a dot in our textbook, or the equal sign to signify roughly equal to, because these are rough approximations for conversion rates. And we know that since each foot contains 12 inches, that 3 1/4 feet would therefore contain 39 inches in such a group. And so now that we have this conversion rate acknowledged, written down, we can see that 5.3 meters, which is the height of the McDonald's sign, would simply be 5.3 groups of this height, right? So if 1 meter is 1 group of 39 inches, then 5.3 meters would be 5.3 groups of that size. And so we would have 5.3 meters being 5.3 groups of 39 inches. I think it's helpful to think of it in groups. I think it makes it easier to keep track of in our heads as we deal with these maybe a little bit abstract concepts. I think it helps kind of keep our thoughts in order. So in any case, let's go ahead and multiply that through. So 5.3 times 39, feel free to use a calculator, but that's going to give us 206.7 inches. Okay. And now the reason why I think that was the easiest path forward is because half an inch, we can convert half an inch into a decimal, which is what we have here, and then we'll have a really easy time dividing the number of stacks into this height and counting the number of groups. Okay, so let's go ahead and see how that works out. So 1/2 of an inch, we started with 1/2 as a fraction, but we can easily change that into a decimal. We know that's 0.5 inches, right? 1 divided by 2 is 0.5 inches. And so now, what we really have is, we have a McDonald's sign that is 206.7 inches high, which is over 16 feet high. And then we have little stacks, right, of loonies, so on and so forth, that are 0.5 inches high. Best of a drawing that I could do. So what we're really asking ourselves is how many groups, how many stacks of 4 loonies can we pile up together to get to the height of the McDonald's sign? Or, in other words, how many groups of 4 loonies that comprise 0.5 inches are inside of 206.7 inches? And remember, we're thinking of the question, how many groups of so-and-so are in so-and-so? We're thinking of division. Division is always kind of counting the number of groups in something. And so let's go ahead and do that. We can say the number of stacks can be counted by dividing the height of the McDonald's sign by the height of one stack, right? 0.5 inches. And then we can just go ahead and compute that value by dividing through. Now, you might remember that dividing by 0.5 really means dividing by 1/2, and if you think back to grade 8 math-ish, dividing by 1/2, dividing by a fraction is the same as multiplying by its reciprocal, so dividing by half is kind of the same as multiplying by 2. Another way to think about that is dividing by half, since there are two halves in each one whole, and there are twice as many halves as there are holes. And so all of that to say that dividing by 1/2 is the same as multiplying by 2. You can go ahead and check that if you think I'm maybe lying to you. But in any case, we'll see that this turns out to be 413.4 stacks. But we don't want to round down. We don't want to fall short of our goal of catching up to the top of the balance line. And so in situations like this, we're going to round up, and we'll say that it'll count 414 stacks, okay? So now we have 414 groups of forelinis piled up together to the height of the balance line, and we know that since each stack has forelinis, then its value, of course, is $4. And so the dollar value of this many stacks of forelinis piled up would simply be, let's say equal, would be $4 times the number of stacks, right? So $4 times 414 stacks, right? You don't need to overcomplicate that, that's fairly straightforward. Each stack has $4, so 4 times 414, and that gives us a dollar value of $1,656 all in all, okay? In case you were wondering how much money would be in that high stack of things. Okay, I hope this helps. I hope this kind of just highlights the idea of always getting our units to be the same whenever we're comparing quantities, no matter what the units might be. There may be one unit that's easier to convert back and forth depending on what your comfort level is, with fractions, with decimals, so on and so forth. I think that this one, the meters to inches, was the easiest path forward, but that doesn't mean that it's the only way forward. We could have converted inches to feet and meters to feet. We could have converted inches to meters, inches to centimeters, and meters to centimeters. There are so many different ways to compare units. As long as they're the same, they're fairly easy to compare. And then when we want to divide through and find the number of groups inside of something, we always need to have the exact same units, which we see here with our inches. And then after that, we can kind of reason our way through to the end. I hope this was helpful. If you guys have any comments, questions, suggestions, please leave a comment down below. Thanks for watching, and have a good day.